Welcome back to another episode of Swamp Stories. Before we get started, I wanted to show love to everyone who watches these videos and even those who are critical. Swamp Stories prides itself on making quality videos that you won't find anywhere else. Also, I don't know if my voice sounds any differently. I apologize, I got sick, so bear with me. Welcome to San Francisco, California. The beautiful city by the water, once the fastest growing city in the country and home to the biggest tech companies in the world. San Francisco became the most expensive city in the country for a reason, but those reasons have faded away. These days, the lines to leave are much longer than the lines to move there. San Francisco is now the second fastest declining city in the country. The city lost over 90,000 residents in 2020, which isn't unusual, but this time around, they aren't being replaced by people moving in. The cost of a U-Haul to leave San Francisco is 20 times higher than getting a U-Haul to the city. The main reason people used to leave San Francisco wasn't by choice. Most claim that they simply couldn't afford it anymore. But these days, the reasons have changed. And a big reason is crime.
88% believe homelessness has worsened in recent years, and 80% believe crime has also gotten worse. 70% believe the quality of life has declined.
A good number of San Franciscans are concerned about staying in San Francisco over the next 5 years, which is concerning to us.
Just lawlessness. People are just openly just coming in and stealing stuff. People that you would never even would suspect.
It's just getting worse and worse.
It's crazy. It's getting bad.
Residents claim that crime is completely out of control in San Francisco. Specifically two things, car burglaries and shoplifting. Both have gotten so out of hand that SFPD has all but totally given up on stopping them. Shoplifting has gotten so bad that Walgreens closed 17 locations in the city, and not because they can't sell toothpaste anymore. On top of this, car break-ins are at the highest numbers in the world, and it's not even close. In this video, I'm going to explain how this started, how it became so out of control, and why SFPD can't do anything to stop it. In order to do that, let's split the video into two topics, boosting and bipping. Let's start with bipping. If you're not from the Bay Area, you're probably thinking, what does that even mean? It all started around 2010, when a group of teens from the Eddy Street projects in San Francisco decided to start throwing spark plugs at windows. One thing they noticed, alarms don't go off when the windows shatter. Well, being that San Francisco is a tourist city, tourists leave cash, jewelry, cameras, and laptops in their cars. It was a recipe for big profits. Rapper Lil Peep even said that he was bipping at 12 years old, and his friend made $100,000 in one day. It was big, but it got even bigger when they started using these little devices that cost no more than $5 on Amazon. And guess what? These little things don't set off alarms either. All it takes is one push to the corner of the window and splash. Then they perfected the craft even further. They started using rental cars in other people's names and turned it into a daily career. It goes something like this. Wake up in the morning, get a rental car, and go drive to the city's tourist areas. And then look inside every car you pass by.
It happens every day here on the streets. As you can see the broken glass there. This happens every day. I see 2 to 3, 4 or 5 cars up and down the street getting broken into in broad daylight. People walk out with stuff and police don't do it.
San Francisco, the city by the bay, known for its beautiful scenery, fine dining, and now its explosion in car break-ins. About one reported every 20 minutes, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
So I was parked right over here.
It happened to Maria Urena twice in 3 months, on the Embarcadero and in the Mission, areas she thought were safe.
Either way, I was shocked because I wasn't in neighborhoods that you would consider unsafe.
Maria is not alone. Police data show most auto burglaries happen in popular tourist areas in red and orange, from Land's End to the Palace of Fine Arts in Japantown to Fisherman's Wharf, Union Square, and City Hall.
We have investigated the car break-in problem in San Francisco for the past few years, but this new video takes it to a whole new level. A driver captured it all yesterday afternoon, just before the Bay Bridge on-ramp on Bryan Street. You can see the Hall of Justice in the background. You see the traffic backed up on that on-ramp. Someone in a black Honda pulls up next to the Prius, gets out, smashes the back window, grabs a bag, and takes off.
You may be wondering, what do they do with all these items? Well, let me introduce you to the Migos, and I'm not talking about the rap group. I'm talking about the guys who stand outside the They buy all your items for cash and hope to resell them online for a lot more money. Bipping has become a career for many people in San Francisco, and it can be even more lucrative than working for Google. These people are making incredible amounts of money on a daily basis. Don't believe me? Check this out.
Where I know people, this is like their job. Like they never had a job in life. That's all they do is bip.
That's a career.
And like I said, I didn't see, like I've known people that hit for 100,000 cash.
This was the scene after a smash and grab thief stole a reported $500,000 worth of personal items from Alex Rodriguez's SUV. The thief got away with jewelry, a laptop, a camera, and a bag obviously filled with some pricey items.
This place is beautiful. The weather is perfect.
A-Rod was in San Francisco to cover the Giants-Phillies game for ESPN. San Francisco has been plagued by an epidemic of car break-ins, as I found out when I deliberately left a speaker and pocketbook in my car as bait. Sure enough, I got ripped off. What the thief didn't know was that I had placed tracking devices in the speaker and the pocketbook. I confronted the guy in a subway station. The problem is so bad, as I interviewed a neighbor fed up with getting ripped off, I got hit a second time. Unbelievably, when we were inside conducting the interview, thieves came out here and they broke into our crew truck. Check this out. They broke this window and the back window, and they stole thousands of dollars worth of our equipment, so we actually got hit twice in one day.
Bipping has gotten so popular that rappers even make songs about it.
Hey, when I bit this whip, watch this motherfucker splash. Boy, you probably working with the task. In my pocket, 50K on 150 on the dash.
Where are all the cops, you might be wondering? Shouldn't they stop this? Well, this is San Francisco, where they don't do anything. They are notorious for being lazy and turning their backs on crime. But you really can't blame them. Here's why. The district attorneys don't charge crimes the majority of the time. Don't believe me on this? Check this out. Let's compare California cities. 39 out of 100 arrests in LA result in time served. 21 out of 100 arrests in San Jose result in time served. It's 14 out of 100 in Sacramento, 13 out of 100 in Oakland, but in San Francisco, only 4 out of every 100 people arrested will actually serve time behind bars. So I would imagine that SFPD most likely feels useless because even if they do solve a crime, chances are the suspect will be back on the streets in no time. Just in case you think I'm exaggerating about all this, let's get into the numbers. Between 2010 and 2017, there were 81,000 car break-ins in San Francisco. Now, I want you to guess how many resulted in arrests. 13. That's right, SFPD made 13 arrests in 7 years. But even for these 13 unlucky people, how many actually did time? I don't know the answer, but you can probably assume that it's not many. Now I'm going to show you one of the most insane stories you have ever heard, and this is just regular stuff in San Francisco. Let me introduce you to Vermont Jones. He was a well-liked basketball player who grew up on Eddy Street. After high school in 2016, he decided that he would take the street life to a whole new level. And honestly, he was not even good at it, like really bad. From 2016 to 2019, he would be arrested 35 times in San Francisco. But that's not even the crazy part. In these 35 arrests, he was charged with 18 felonies and 37 misdemeanors, with many of these being bipping cases. Well, after all this, it's 2020 and his lifestyle has not changed one bit. But why would it? He has not done any time for any of the crimes he committed. San Francisco would put him on an ankle GPS monitor, but even that wouldn't stop him. May 5th, 2020. While being tracked by SFPD, he would drive out to Union City and he would go on a rampant spree. Well, the GPS monitor was still on and working, but I guess it never alerted SFPD of him leaving the city. Regardless, Union City PD would track him down because of fingerprints and they would issue a warrant. But this is the East Bay, and the chances that they will actually sentence him are higher, so he goes on the run. Well, actually, I wouldn't call it going on the run because he went right back to San Francisco, where he lived for months in a large condo and sustained a life of luxury. Months would go by until it's October 1st, 2020. Vermont Jones would head down to Union Square, right across the street from Neiman Marcus. That's where he would find an elderly Asian man with a bag. He whips out and puts the metal to his head. Little did he know, this man had a background in martial arts. The elderly man wrestles the out of his hand, turns it around on him, and bam! It's sad, especially because he should have not been on the streets to begin with. This elderly man put a stop to a dangerous person when the city of San Francisco couldn't. These kinds of events are a big reason many residents want to leave San Francisco. But bipping is not even the biggest form of theft in San Francisco. That would be shoplifting. This is a trend that locals call boosting. It has gone rampant in the past few years in San Francisco to the point where people just walk in stores, fill up bags of items, and walk right out with no fear.
It's really bad.
It goes on from morning to night, every single day, over and over and over again.
They're literally just taking it from the store. They're taking it, grabbing it, and running. I mean, you don't feel safe.
I've been in this Bay Area 20 years. I've never seen this.
When I was made aware of the numbers, particularly in San Francisco, it blows your mind away.
The problem has only gotten worse.
We're talking multi-millions of dollars that are being stolen, and this money then in turn is being used by crime syndicates, both in the US and in other countries, to fund some really bad activities.
We're not talking about just one or two items that someone might need to get by. Our investigations have shown that there are organized offenses where people are selling these products that they steal.
It's happened again. 4 women run off after stealing from the CVS pharmacy at Van Ness and Jackson in San Francisco, this time just before 6 Monday night. It's the latest grab-and-go crime in San Francisco that's forced many drugstores in the city to close. The man who took this video tells me he feels sorry for the workers who have lost their jobs or have had their hours reduced because of what he called out-of-control shoplifting. Organized retail theft has become such a hot-button issue that it's now a point of focus in the upcoming gubernatorial recall election.
This has caused stores to close all over the city. When the stores would call SFPD, they wouldn't even show up. But hey, why would they? Let me introduce you to California Penal Code 49.5. Theft of under $950 is not a felony in California. SFPD can arrest thieves all they want, but rest assured they will be right back out on the streets in no time. SFPD officers have been quitting in large numbers. Currently, they are understaffed by 400. On top of this, homicides are up in the city as well. Hopefully, San Francisco can turn things around because it's still one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Peace.